Oop, we're live.
Oh, crap, I clicked the link. All right, so we're supposed to decide if Louis, Tim, and possibly others have done good work. So, where are we standing?
So is this just a yes/no issue?
Let's say maybe.
Probably not. So I opened pull request 223. Does it make sense for me to put that on a group chat? Can watchers see that? Otherwise, it's on the GitHub on the Ehcache 3.
They can if Alex picks your screen share as the display.
No, I mean
he meant if he pastes the link into the group chat.
Let me do something. Let me do this. Let me do this. No, not this. Where the heck? Start screen share. Let me make this smaller. Like so. Let me say present to everyone, and let me go to the pull requests. And all right, what am I supposed to click?
The first one, so the 223, which is both issue 70 and 219, because we've been exchanging back and forth with Tim the work on there. So 70 is the whole GSR 107 integration, and 219 is making sure that when you create a GSR 107 cache manager based off an Ehcache XML configuration, you can actually access the caches out of it.
Mm-hmm. And so that works, it seems.
That's weird. It looks like there is a commit from that's associated to Chris in there.
Yeah, I saw that. Confused me.
That's weird.
Well, how is that associated with me?
It has your picture next to it, and you're listed as a participant.
There's your picture.
Here, look, that's you.
I never did that work.
That's weird. I don't know what Tim did, but okay, whatever. So
you're taller though. Anyway.
What we have now is all the TCK tests passing, and a test class that shows
minus the one we disabled, right? Because they're
minus the ones we disabled because there are open issues on the GSR 107 TCK.
Cool.
And we can now also load an XML configuration.
Mm-hmm.
You can access the caches out of that XML configuration. You can't get a complete configuration for these. You can only get the basic.
So if you ask for the complete, what's going to happen?
Class cast exception. It's not the proper type.
Sounds perfect to me.
But yeah, that's the way. All right, let me check that. Actually.
Oh, that's what the spec mandates?
I don't know what the spec mandates there, so I'm gonna.
No, it's fine. I would have expected a legal argument, but that's fine. It's not.
Oh yeah, but I think it's going to be an exception. Yes.
Okay.
So it's going to be the unwrap. Yeah, it's going to be illegal argument exception. So you can get all the caches. The caches exposes the caches created by the XML configuration exposes their cache loader, their cache writers, whether or not they are copy by value on the heap, which are information that we either need in the implementation of the EH107 cache, which is our bridge between 107 and our own Ehcache. And since it contains some logic, it needs to access the reader and the writer in places. And the stuff about some of the configuration option is because even though we don't return a complete configuration, we still return a configuration that has 2 methods on it, I believe. The Java Ehcache configuration, yeah, key type, key value type, store by value. So we needed at least to extract that information out of the constructed Ehcache.
Okay.
And then what I also looked at with Ludovic was making sure that the templating system we had put in place would work. And since we had found issues with the loader and the writers that were initially not properly loaded, we had to look at making sure that if you actually create a cache from the GSR 107 API, but based off a template using the templating mechanism we've put in place as a bridge between 107 and Ehcache, it would properly utilize the loader or the writer defined at the GSR 107 level over the ones that defined in the XML configuration in the template, so that you can properly override that.
Okay.
So no, that works, and yeah, that's the test showing that. So here you see, so we created a file which is specific for that because it's based off the Ehcache sample, but like we removed all the documentation from that sample and we added a few declarations. And so that's the test 107 based on the Ehcache template is the example. We want to have a dumb cache loader that's going to be provided at the 107 level, and we want to make sure that's the one getting called.
Right.
It's basic thing, but it shows that it works. And the other one is actually checking that we properly load the product cache and the there is a product cache template and the other one, which is a bit below. There is a second cache.
Yeah.
The customer cache. That we properly load both of these. Can have a look at the configuration. Can the test even checks that?
So I probably should read the code, and I probably should have read the code since, but I haven't.
No,
so how does that work right now? What we do is we parse the config in XML, we create our cache manager, and then we try to expose what we have to expose to the 107 API from there. Or we keep the XML config that we created around and sort of use both, or only.
No, we create the Ehcache cache manager, which initializes all the caches based on the XML configuration, and then we have, for the moment, we keep both the XML configuration and the Ehcache cache manager, and we utilize these two to actually reconstruct all the bridging that we need to make happen.
Because the runtime config doesn't expose everything one would need.
The runtime config only exposes very limited elements, and I didn't look at exactly what we should add in there.
Right.
But it's probably going to be one way of figuring it out. But we also had to do some hacks around the fact that since we need to get to the loader and the writer, I've created a hack accessor class in the 107 package that allows us to call into the Ehcache package private methods to do a get cache loader, get cache writer, because we need the instance as it can be used by the EH107 cache.
We could keep that around in a wrapped factory and to not do all of that. It's fine, right? I'm not saying we should do this now, but I'm thinking out loud, basically.
Yes. And the other things we had to do was, by default, when you create a 107 cache manager, you provide 3 service providers. One which is to do the bridging between the cache names and the templating system, and that's perfectly fine. But we also provide a 107 cache loader factory and a cache writer factory. And that was causing issues, because as soon as you have a service linked to that, then you don't hit the default service anymore. And so even the XML loading was broken, because it would ignore the configured cache loader / cache writers.
Right. Yeah, obviously.
So the way we ended up doing it for the moment,
it's not the XML that's broken, it's the wiring, I'm pretty sure.
It's the wiring. Yeah, no, the XML was working
fine. The config's fine, but nobody wires those.
Actually, they get ignored, because when we pick a service, we pick the first we find.
Yeah, that's
since we had
so
added.
That you can overwrite stuff, but then it's up to you to also make the service. Normally, this service should be able, when it's getting asked to create. Oh no! Yeah, no wait.
So what?
No,
we
yes,
ended up...
this should actually all work, I think, but probably. Well, no, not out of the box, but there is missing code, is what I'm saying.
So the way we fixed it for the moment is we have the GSR 107 cache loader factory and cache writer factory extend the default cache loader and cache writer factory, and that works in the context we have today. But it's one of the comments I made on the pull request. It does not work generally. So if you define a cache loading or a cache loader service or a cache writer service inside the XML, that's not going to work, because you'll have the GSR 107 service found first, and if that one doesn't find a loader, no other service will be called. So we'll have to come up with something on how to compose services for the same service type.
Yeah, I'm not really sure that's the way I want to do it, though. I think what we want to do is parse the XML, see if there is a service that overrides one that we want to hotwire in, and if there is one that overrides, then you don't wire yours in.
The problem is the service registration is done at the cache manager level.
But not for the 107 stuff, is it?
Yes, that's the way it's done for the moment.
Oh, okay. Because the 107 service, the 107 service I wrote, but not sure how it's now implemented. But in the test that I wrote, I actually, kept it outside entirely, and then you create the cache manager by passing the service locator. Has the string hub.
Yes, but then the service locator knows about the 107 services, which by default will hide all the default services.
Yeah, but that's what I'm. All the default services. Okay, maybe we should take this offline, but I think this all works. I just think it's confusing. But basically, before injecting overriding services within your service locator, you probably want to check the config that you just parsed, if it declares any of those service types. If it does, don't inject yours.
No, but you can't. You have to inject yours, because of the way the loader and the writers gets wrapped when they're passed in to create a 107 cache.
Well done. What we need to do is have the 107 factory thing, possibly be aware of the one that's declared inside the config, so that it can wrap that.
Yes. And so for the moment, yes, that's true. Yes.
So it still all works, but yeah, we miscode basically.
Yeah, we miscode, and for the moment we've solved it for the use case we have using inheritance, but I don't like that solution, but it was working for what we have today.
Right, and it's fine, because this is all Ehcache API stuff, and probably even in I don't know, 6 months times, if anybody listens to this, he probably has no clue what we just talked about.
Yeah.
Right, this is very abstract and
yes,
it's all about the way that we then document it and whatnot. This is all not documented today. So anyways, if somebody would want to do this, he would need to wrap his head around the way that we made all that injection stuff work, and then make that work for him, right? So I guess when we do through the OSS beta and try to document all of that in ways so that use cases are not usable for users, I think this will sort of all auto-resolve itself.
Yeah. So what it also means is that, I was gonna say maybe we have other surprises lying for services we did not test, but no, I'm actually thinking no, because it's the 107 API we want to use, and that one doesn't allow you to register services. So
Yeah.
in my mind, we're good to go
Right.
at some level. I think we've
At some level.
no, yeah, in the sense that it's not perfect.
It's software.
We know we have stuff to rework, but what we have there should already allow you to use XML configuration, view that as a 107 cache manager with its caches, and potentially add caches at runtime using the 107 API. One open question on that topic is what happens and should we allow Ehcache level cache addition / removals while you use the same cache manager as a 107 cache manager?
I think yes, we should allow for that. I think no, it doesn't need to be tackled now as a problem because same point again. You're supposed to use the 107 API. Of course, you can go. We can document this as a caveat. I'm not saying that people should basically burn themselves doing that, but but yeah, it's we need to support that, but we don't need to have this working now because the point is that people use the 107 API, not the Ehcache one. Or at least don't make any bets on if they use that one.
Okay, but then in that context, except if Ludovic, you remember highlighting another issue.
No, I don't. I think we have pretty complete and reasonably solid support now.
Yeah.
Wow, you'll be quoted on that.
It's recorded for posterity. And so I guess then the other item we may need to discuss were the get all issues Clifford sent out.
Yeah. So I'll stop.
And see if we can live with them or if some of them needs to be tackled now.
Okay, that was really weird. I was actually watching my cursor here on the other monitor, trying to bring it into the stop sharing thing, but that obviously doesn't work. Let's bring the cursor on the real monitor. Yeah, that works. All right, so we have email on that, right? It was very long.
It's just the observation so far. Now, given that it's, that it's the bulk methods, I'm not sure that I'd hold up the alpha for it.
There is an
I think we could say just some issues there we'll deal with later.
Okay. I think number one there. I'm not. I sort of skipped the unit test name glossary there above. So number one. I don't think that's a problem, especially as what we do is completely different than what 107 wants to do, anyways, right?
No, it depends on whether you're expecting consistency out of the results.
Consistency
is
very subjective matter.
Let's see. A cache access exception from get all is not visible to the caller of get all, so they don't know that they're getting an exception.
Right.
Right. They're just getting results back.
And so that's a get all. So actually, get all should throw bulk load, except
it depends. Depends on the circumstances, right? It's not.
All right, yeah, because it's not the loader; it's actually like the cache stuff. Well, is this actually even bad? You could say this has something to do with the resilience strategy and so forth, right? If it knows that something went wrong, it may be perfectly fine, isn't it?
Well, there's at least one case where you can get inconsistent results like this without the resilience strategy being involved.
All right, so that's probably not good.
Yeah.
I'm confused about what does that mean? Like, no cache hits are reflected in the bulk cache loader exception. Oh, you mean that the exception doesn't contain all the stuff we successfully loaded from the cache as it was present? Is that what you mean?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so that's probably a bug, but I don't even think that's an issue again for this. Caches. Caches.
Yeah, all of
Right,
the issues that I've run into so far have been related in some way to fault handling.
Yeah, that seems to be a common theme in software.
Yeah.
The happy path is usually happy.
Yeah. I right now, given this, I wouldn't hold up the alpha just for this. I might say that there are issues related to the bulk methods, and then move on.
I think these fall in the same category as the issues that we highlighted with Tim's wrapper code.
Yeah.
Yes, they're problems, but they're not, and they definitely shouldn't slip by. To the extent that I think some of these, may not be an issue, but they probably almost all of them warrant a GitHub issue, just so the fact that just that we're forced to make a statement one way or the other, whether or not they need fixing. I don't think any of them need fixing.
No, I agree, but I'm with Chris on that. We should make sure that all the problems we know about are actually filed as being issues of the alpha and identified. Right? Just if anybody uses that, otherwise we need to deal with duplicates and whatnot. I don't want to have to do that.
Yep.
And if it's fixed by the time somebody sees it, then you can, it's beneficial for everyone, I think. So I think we need to make that happen. So shall we push this on your plate, Clifford?
Sure.
Well, the issue creation, yes. I think the act of the task of classifying, resolving, whatever, classifying and then potentially resolving either by saying we don't care or yes, we need to make code changes to fix this. Either way, that is going to require more input. But I think it's something I need to sit and look at code and think through these and figure out how much impact it might have and how contorted fixing it will be.
So I have a question for that. So there is no affected version field in GitHub.
There isn't?
Well, maybe I'm blind, but I see a title, I see somebody to assign the thing to target the fix for, and I see labels. So I guess
you just have to create a label for the issue for the. Can you tag an issue with a tag? The tags created in GitHub automatically become labels you can put on issues. I wonder. That would seem like.
Let me check. I don't think they do.
But it sounds like then we just need to create an issue tag corresponding to each release.
An issue label.
You can associate a milestone.
Whatever it's called.
That's the target.
That's the target for where you fix it, though, isn't it? It's not identifying where it's broken.
Because basically what I'm trying to say is I would like to identify all the bugs that we know of. So shall we I don't know, have general bugs, and then use overload bug with, I don't know, bug alpha, bug beta, and so forth?
I would just, given that there is support for
different labels.
Yes, given that because there's support, as Clifford just pointed out, there's support for milestones, for saying we want this fix for this future release, and therefore.
Yeah, but that I understand, but that doesn't say that the bug is in the alpha, right?
Yes, let me finish. But because that exists specially, it means we can just use tagging something as being a given version as an indication, not that it's going to be fixed in that version, but that is the version it occurs in.
So by tagging, you mean use a label or
label, whatever it's called? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but to have a difference, what I would do is label according to the version, like the version number, not
Yes.
the version symbolic name. So add a label which will be v300-alpha.
Yes, or just 300-alpha. I mean,
Yes.
make it the same as the Maven version number, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to be the name of the same name as the tag will usually be a V and then the
Okay.
version number.
Fair enough.
Okay, so let me do this, and you tell me whether we agree, because I have no clue what you guys said. 00-alpha, I think. That's probably the way that we want to. I'll make that.
I'm not looking at it at the moment, so I won't know what you're doing.
What I do looks cool.
Sure.
Like so?
Sure. Hang on, should probably look at it before I say that, shouldn't I? In case you wrote something insulting.
It's nice and orange.
Yeah, I just wanted to pick a color. It's probably going to be bugs. Right?
Works fine.
I mean, yeah, and that
One
also allows us to tag, for example, if it's not a bug but it's something else,
Enhancement, anything.
can
Yeah,
still be
but-
detected.
Yeah, anyways, I'm not sure.
Well, should we have a,
Enhancement, all unreleased versions prior to the one you're targeting from suffers from it.
Not necessarily.
should we have a milestone that's associated that has the same name as that label?
That's the.
No.
We can rename the one
That,
that's set
that
up.
already exists.
Yeah.
We might want to have a milestone for the OSS beta.
There is one.
Well, we have that. That's
Yeah.
all there.
Okay. Meh.
So if we agree, then we need 223 needs to be merged. And then the only work that needs to be done is a small pull request that changes the version to 300 alpha so that we have a commit we can tag, then moves it back to 300 snapshot, merge that, and once that's merged, we can start the release build.
Okay, so I wasn't paying attention. So is there any work for me to be done?
Someone needs to merge 223, the pull request.
Is it rebased? It wasn't this morning.
The pull request I published should be rebased. Let me
Yes, it
quickly
is.
double check.
Okay, I'm gonna merge that. Not that I really read it or anything, but
Well, or Ludovic could merge it because we worked on it together. So
there you go.
if you're okay with it, Ludovic.
I'm okay with it, yes. So I'll double check that it's properly
You can
rebased.
be quoted twice now. Like, this is recorded like twice now, and as well as we're in
No
trouble.
worries. After this meeting's done, I will call my lawyer.
I'm taking a very long holiday. All right, cool. So that's good. So what's question for the future? To do what if we have multiple?
We discussed these.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just jumped at me like how it was, but that's fine. Okay, cool, awesome. So that's that. So for you, Clifford, so you'll be fighting those issues, and so please target them to OSS beta, and tag them with this new tag v30-alpha thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Or label them. Sorry, since I've been bad. All right, cool. I wonder what's the difference between invalid and won't fix.
I think invalid is one that shouldn't have been filed in the first place.
And one fix is we don't want to fix it,
Yeah.
even if it's valid.
Okay, I like that. Cool.
So
That's actually cool that we keep like that we try to pay attention to this v300 alpha thing and to label things as such, because it will help us to make the release logs meaningful for the beta or for another alpha that we may want to push at some point. But anyways, just saying, because I know we haven't been really good so far at even like targeting things.
Well, actually, it's easy for the moment. The alpha contains everything that's been fixed.
Yeah. Though arguably there are some things that I'm pretty sure are not targeted at the alpha and made it in nonetheless. I tried to fix that.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes, yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Anyways, not a big problem, though probably something that we may want to discuss in the future. So you're saying that once this is merged in, we can release on that?
I'll just create a pull request with 2 commits. One commit that moves the version to 3.0.0 alpha. One commit that moves it back to 3.0.0 snapshot.
Okay.
Then we need to merge that.
Well, that you can do yourself, right? I think you did that
I can do that.
Just, this is especially that one because it's like do undo.
Yes.
Kind of a fun one. By the way, do we really do it this way? What do we do then in that case? We really like go back, or we add another node that's brand new but just happened to be in?
No, it's just going to be 2 commits. That will have, technically they have different commit SHA-1s, but they will contain the exact same tree.
Okay. About 210, the pull requests. This one can actually be closed because 223 is the one that has everything in it, right?
That's correct. 210 is superseded by 223.
All right, so I can close this like now.
Yes.
Why does
closing handled in what? 223? Is that what we said? Yeah.
Yes.
Louis, I'm confused. This is a stupid Git question. Why does the change set or commit that moves the version number to 3.0.0 alpha have to be a parent of subsequent commits in the master? Why can't you create the commit, push the commit, and then tag that commit by SHA-1 and not put it in the ancestor tree of all the subsequent commits on master?
That's why I was sort of.
Okay, I can do that. I'll just need to have a look at exactly how I push. I believe I may have to create a branch for it because I'm not sure I can push a commit that's only referenced by a tag on GitHub. But I'll have a look.
Okay.
And try
it just seems cleaner that way because then the master just moves smoothly from 3.0.0 snapshot to
3.0 snapshot.
3.0 snapshot at this point, but in future we use the same process. We go to 3.0.1 snapshot or whatever.
Yeah, I think I did it the other way just because when I tried to push a tag, it would tell me I can't push that tag because the commit it references does not exist on the server.
Right.
So it means I still have to, but it's true that I could push it, tag it, delete the branch. And potentially we recreate the branch at a later stage if we realize we need it.
Yep.
From the tag.
Yeah, it's slightly pedantic, but I
No, but it's I agree.
That's why I was asking.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's do that. Let's sync all that, and then I guess. Oh, there is one thing to which I didn't pay much attention. I must say. All right, let me go to your thing. Oh no, can I not? I am really confused how sometimes you're supposed to navigate GitHub. All right, let me just type the whole thing in. It's going to be much simpler. Cache 3. I know. Go to this. Move to the branch. 219. Is that the branch? Right. Yeah. So README. Provider getting started. You can point to the XML thing. What's up? Oh, wait a sec. What's up with the failsafe story? Do we have the failsafe as part of the 107 stuff? The empty one?
The only discussion I had that was I put that comment on that pull request. I don't know if anything came of that comment on that pull request.
Yeah, we said we'd defer all that to introduce the Hcache scheme and so forth.
Okay.
Right, but it still tries to load
But
the Chcache failsafe.
Did we actually add it as a config file?
Because can you
Probably
actually
not.
use the 107 stuff with the default URI right now?
I'm gonna check. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't
Complaining
think so.
saying can't find it.
Let me quickly add that to my test and see if it works. But I believe it will fail.
Right, I think we should make sure that that works.
Let me add that to the Ehcache provider test. Test load defaults URI.
Right, and I think what we have on the 107 README is good enough as a starter for now. And I guess what we want to start doing, start documenting some of that probably then.
Okay, so and I do caching provider dot get cache manager. Whoa, that works.
Well, are you sure that your test thing doesn't have an Ehcache.xml on the class path?
Why would we have an Ehcache.xml there in the path?
Why wouldn't we?
Oh, we have an Ehcache failsafe.xml in impl.
So we have something? Okay.
Yep,
Good.
we have a failsafe, but it's in impl. Oh, and it
What's
was
in
added
there?
by Tim.
It's empty?
It's empty, yes.
Awesome.
Oh, the schema location is a relative path.
I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Okay. But so it's empty and it's in impl. Should I move it to GSR 107? To 107 module?
Let me say no for now.
Okay.
I'm not sure how I feel really about this.
Well, we're going to do away with it as a file entity, aren't we? So, eventually, right?
At the end,
it works.
So one thing we need to do though, before we actually publish the release to, that's something we need to do. We need to check that the Uberjar works as expected. So we need to have a small test that runs against Uberjar.
I have that. On my GitHub repo, there is a GSL 107. I don't know. I have a example thing and.
Oh, it's true. We could run the TCK against that. That can be done easily.
I'll do that. Yeah, that may be a good thing. But if not, I have the. All right, I'm sure. All right, jcache-demo repo in my thing that does exactly what you want. You just need to change the POM to reference your thing.
The properties and the stuff. Okay, then I'm
No,
gonna.
not the properties. It doesn't care. It uses 107. So I just expect to find one provider on the class path. So right now, this depends on your org hcache jcache 100. Right? Let me paste you.
Yeah, okay, but I'll check that out. Publish install the Uberjar in my local Maven repo and try your stuff and see if that passes.
Yeah, if that runs, then that should be good.
Yeah, okay, good.
I have no clue what that does, though. How does this work? Public void main, I guess. Yeah, you need to run a class in there. You can do that from your IDE.
Yep. Okay, good. Good. Then let's do that. Then I guess, how do we want to announce that?
Well, what do you mean?
How much noise do we want to make about it? blog
Well,
posts, trying to get it mentioned in podcasts, that kind of things.
Yeah, I guess it would be nice to have some blog posts linking to some getting started thing or whatnot that we can put on the wiki. Actually, that's what I meant, right? So probably writing. Now we have a problem. We need to decide how and where we put dev documentation, right? So there are multiple things. The Java doc that we publish, we could put it somewhere so that it's available online automatically. There are sites out there that seem to do that for a bunch of different projects. Is there a way for us to make sure that they get the latest version like quicker or directly? So I don't know. So that's one. And then some other documentation. So there is the stuff in the README right now, which sort of works, but it's problematic, right? As we move forward with development, it's going to fork off, of where we are and where the latest release thing is. So where do we want to put that documentation? So obviously, I'm going to argue that it should all be written in ASCII doc. It doesn't have to, but if it's not, I'm not going to write a single bit of it. And so where do we make that available, right? The wiki, same problem, right? You can put it on the wiki on GitHub, but it's not really good because, right? How do you keep that up to date, right? You want a version thing. Or do we generate it from someplace, right? We could have a doc thing where it's all in there. It goes along, and then we generate it and we put it somewhere, and then people can go look at it. So obviously we can all put it on the ehcache.org once this is all officially released. Well, not as we can. We probably will have to.
But there's no reason we can't put it there now, in principle.
Right, but
it's a bit complicated.
That's what I wanted to get at.
Tied up.
How do we make that happen?
I've I imagine Louis can make it happen.
If it's a bunch of HTML files, just give them to me. I push them. I can update the website, but I can ask for an update of the website to happen. But don't we have then formatting questions, and it's the public website? Won't we have request for review before it gets published and stuff like that?
Ehcache3.org.
Well, the one thing we can do, but then I hate the way that's being rolled out, it's ehcache.github.io/ehcache3. We have this, but I hate that it goes on this branch that has nothing to do with your development stuff. I don't know. I just don't like it.
So, yeah. I guess the website, the ehcache.org website is an option. We just need to have some kind of formatting that makes it look like the rest.
Well, do we really need that? Can we not? If it goes into in quotes, an unlinked thing that we only reference from the GitHub thing, arguably, talking about that, one thing that would be really nice is put the XSDs on the website.
That's true.
You mean so you can be pulled? That'd be nice.
Yeah.
But if we do that, do we want to wait for having them out there before we make the release so that they're properly referenced from samples and stuff like that?
So there are a couple of things, right? So the way that I've put the URLs right now, I never discussed that with anyone, but it doesn't contain the fully qualified name, file name, or URI or whatnot. It is ehcache.org/v3. It's not hard to give a file from such a location with the proper name.
Right, it's not actually. Of course, you don't actually have to make it available there. That is just a string identifier, right, officially.
Yeah, I know, but you can also make it available there.
You can make it available there, and some editors will have seen they can pull it from there, or will attempt to pull it from there.
Yeah, and
most of the time that will break.
There are utilities that will attempt to do that.
Right. I know how to do it, but are we able to do that?
What do you mean? Host a file? Yes.
Well, host a file. Actually, given the way that I just said that the thing is set up, either you put a rewrite rule in front of it, so it points to the XSD, or you make it so that HTTPD is fine returning index.xsds or something, but it's
A
not. It's not
redirection.
right. Yeah,
Be the
but
cleanest way.
rewrite does the redirecting.
Or don't we want to change the URL for a future release?
This is the other
Well,
thing is, well,
it
yes,
has the version in there.
I don't know what the correct way of doing this is if the schema is not frozen.
That's a good one. So you're right. Right now we shouldn't do it.
I would have said right now it's better to cause a little bit of pain,
Right.
but maybe make sure the schema is available somewhere. Like that we point to the. I mean, obviously it's in GitHub, but maybe highlight that fact so that people that want to do things.
Right. Maybe to the tag and stuff, yeah. Because let me check quickly that I don't lie, that I've done this properly. So if I go to XML, this XSD, blah, 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 has v3 in it. And I think even the 107 stuff. Source, main, resources, XSD. It's v3/JSR 107. So we can totally have a v3.1 in there. And so I put the versioning in the URI directly.
Okay, but so whatever we end up doing, we don't think it requires changing the content of the release. So we can push the release button, and we can try to collect documentation, make it publicly available, and then start pushing out.
We can build a complete URI from a tag, I guess, right? On GitHub.
Yeah, you can do that. I believe.
So we point to this.
Yes,
there it is, and it's the thing exactly as it was released, and and the XSD is in the jars right now, anyways, right?
Yes.
So if your IDE parses your jars for XSDs and matches the namespaces, it's actually all good. I have no clue that an IDE does that, but
neither do I.
It sounds fancy right now.
Don't believe NetBeans does, but you can certainly tell it.
Then IntelliJ.
Obviously. If it's useful, IntelliJ must do it.
Okay, good.
So all right. So what do we do on the doc front? Somebody takes action on trying to make a call? Do we have a preference for anything right now?
I don't think we do. And again, the same. We can probably reference the tag tree content, which will display then the README.
Right, but that's only the README, right? Do we want to keep it to that? I guess not. And as part of the OSS beta now, we will want to start writing docs as the task advances, right?
Yes, but so the question is...
We can reference everybody back to the spec. In the worst case, the spec isn't good enough, then people complain, and maybe the spec gets updated, so that's clearer for everyone. So let's say we're making this out of pure making the world a better place.
Yeah.
But as of tomorrow, we need to have devs start writing docs on stuff that we do. So we'll have to figure those bits out.
Yep. But can we postpone that and then say we just release the alpha like that?
Release the alpha like that, and then the stuff that if people blog and whatnot about it, we just reference back to the READMEs. I think there are fundamentally three important READMEs, right? The main one, the one in the root thing, the one in the XML stuff, and the one in the 107 stuff. And I think that actually the three of them reference each other, if my memory serves. Well,
I think
actually,
so too, yeah.
maybe none call back to root, but I think the 107 referenced the XML and the XML referenced the 107, and the root referenced both the 107 and the XML one. So definitely reference the XML here. According to this, explaining the JSL 107 config section, that's here, and that references back to the XML.
Okay, but then I need to check how the links are created to see if they're going to remain valid.
What link? Sorry. This app is using...
So the fact that the GitHub links, if they work properly when you're inside some context, so that if we're inside the tag, the link in between the README remain inside the tag and don't go back to master. But I believe they do, so...
I tried, I've done, yeah, I think I've done that exactly that way. At some point it was busted, but I think I fixed that. So why is this bing, bing, bing? And this app is using features from a newer versions of Google Talk plugin. Upgrade now.
Okay,
all right. Stop annoying me. Okay, so I guess that's good. So I guess as of tomorrow, like this is available to the world, right?
Yes.
I joined to say no.
Thanks, Tim.
Good work, Tim.
Hey.
Excellent.
Okay, back.
Anything else, or we can just, yeah.
I don't know, I'm going crazy with this thing going ding, 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 ding all the
You
time.
have to close plenty of windows. You can't take us offline anymore.
No, it's just this app is using features from a newer version of Google Talk plugin. Upgrade now, but I'm pretty sure I don't want to
Obviously,
push
it's
the
not
button
actually
now.
using them,
Yeah.
though. This app wants to use docs writers, I don't know.
But it comes with a small bing, 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 and I get a bing every second right now.
We hear it, yeah.
Sweet. Yep.
Oh, cool. I'm happy.
Bing,
Oh, the weather.
bing,
Bing,
bing, bing, bing.
So
Maybe we should all try and
Yahoo.
find where you went, so we can all
Yahoo.
be going bing, bing,
Google.
bing.
Google.
Right,
DuckDuckGo.
are we done then for today?
Yeah, I guess we are.
So thanks, Tim, for doing all that work for us.
Good work, Tim.
I
Are
think
you
we should.
underwater yet?
Yeah. You got power?
Maybe just a second.
All right, so I'm going to stop broadcasting this because this is
Okay.
really getting to utter nonsense.
Okay, bye.